Ahoy everyone, it's the first match of round 2 and it's a triple threat between the Carnival of Chaos against the Skaven from Clan Ashen and the motley crew Ogre Maneaters Warband. It is the Carnival's turn and they will head to the rich quarters where the winning Warband will always find the maximum amount of gold or equipment when searching a location during the exploration phase. The Carnival is led by Moonhead, the Carnival Master with Halberd, Light Armor and Lucky Charm. He has weapon skill 6 and is accompanied by 2 brutes with 2-handed weapons and step aside. Also along for the ride is Howard Lovers, the Tainted One with 2 hammers, Bloated Foulness, step aside and strike to injure. And Clownface, the second Tainted One with Spear and Nurgle's Rod, who also has 2 wounds by now. And there are 6 henchmen, 2 Plague Bearers, 2 Brethren with Club and Dagger each, and then 2 additional Brethren with Bow and Dagger. As for the Skaven, they are led by an Assassin with Weeping Blades, Light Armor and Lucky Charm. He has Tail Fighting to fight with an additional Dagger. Then 2 Black Skaven, Zigzag and Startail, both armed with Fighting Claws, and Zigzag has 2 wounds. The Ashen Sorcerer, Whisper, Sword and Lucky Charm, he knows Nordoom and Children of the Horned Red. And 2 Night Runners, one armed with a sling and the other armed with a crossbow. The Night Runner with crossbow has ballistic skill 4. And as for the henchmen, 2 Verminkin with club and shield and another group with spear and shield. They all have strength 4. 3 giant rats and a hired sword, a warlock, Barnabas. He knows the spells Luck of Shemtek and the Sword of Rezabel. The ogres have 2 big ones, a captain with 2 swords and a helmet, and a mountain guide with sword and harpoon crossbow. Both of them are resilient. Then there are 3 youngbloods, the demon girl with 2-handed weapon, Lucky Charm, Strongman and step aside, Azada the Orcblood with double-handed weapon and a Lucky Charm, and Halana with sword and iron fist. They are accompanied by the little guy, Alexander Clemelton, the halfling scout, who knows the skill Quickshot. Within the ruins of Mordheim, a wyvern has built itself a lair and hoarded some treasures and goodies. And now the 3 warbands will try to slay the beast and get the treasure. The beast itself is a rubber toy I got from the kids shop, so painted it and it looks the part. So yeah, here we have the first warband, the Carnival, split into 2 groups. Over here, the Skaven of Clan Ashen, also splitting up into 2 groups. And last but not least, the ogres, splitting up into 2 groups. So the goal of the match is to slay the wyvern and be the only one within the lair, and then you get the victory. And the possible rewards you can see here. So the wyvern itself, you can see the stat line on the bottom of the screen, and it causes fear, has a 6+ armor save, which cannot be reduced, and also a special tail attack. Basically, you take an initiative test if you're in base contact, and if you fail, you get a hit. As for the Carnival of Chaos, Clownface, Chef, and a Twister with a Plague Bearer heading towards the ogres. The Gardener with the 2 Bow Brethren heading over the planks towards the wyvern in the middle. And last but not least, the Carnival Master with the second Tainted One and the Plague Bearer and the last Brethren heading towards the Skaven. Speaking of the Skaven, they are split into 2 groups. The big one with the Assassin, the 2 Night Runners and 1 Black Skaven accompanied by 3 henchmen and a giant rat. And the other one is the more magical group with the Warlock, the Ashen Sorcerer and the second Black Skaven. They are heading towards the middle over to the wyvern. And the ogres are split in 2 groups as well, the 2 youngbloods with the great weapon and the mountain guide, together heading towards the wyvern. And Captain Rustam with Halana going to engage with the Carnival, accompanied by Alexander Clemelton. And those are the 3 warbands and the situation on the battlefield. And the Carnival of Chaos, Circus Rusticus, will have the first turn. Moving up in the center, the Carnival Master leading the Plague Bearer and the Twister over the planks. And there's a little marker to mark the lucky charms. I always forget. In the center, the gardener takes the lead to the wyvern, and on the right flank, ready to prepare for the ogres. That's it for movement. On to ogres turn 1. The ogres running up as well, having the higher movement, so they are already on the walls of the center structure around the wyvern, and Rustam and Helena getting ready to engage the Carnival. Alexander going into position to shoot some arrows, but he runs, so maybe shooting next turn. With quick shot he can shoot 2 times if he stands still, so yeah. And of course the Skaven as well getting into position, led by the black Skaven running up the stairs to prepare for the Carnival attack. Climbing up the walls in the center with the Night Runners and the Assassin. And on the left side, the Magic lot getting prepared to shoot and fight against the ogres. Yeah, going into the magic phase, Barnabas trying to cast a sword. He gets an 8, so he gets it. Moving up further, getting into position to prepare for the charge of the ogres, because they have the higher movement. It's more than likely that they charge first. In the center, the gardener run up the walls. Maybe charge someone. And on the left side, they already charged the black Skaven because they were close enough. Then going into the shooting phase, the Plague Bearer has a vomit attack, and he can look over the melee fight and vomit on the Skaven behind. And it's over long range, he has moved, so maybe a 6 to hit and a 3 is not enough. And yeah. Nothing happened. Continuing the shooting phase, the 2 brethren shooting on the Night Runner in the middle with the throwing stars. Shooting both at once, so they ran, and it's over half range. And both hit with double 6. Strength 3, toughness 3, so a 4+ to wound. 1 wound. Skaven has no armor save. And a 1 means knocked down, and he's not close enough to the edge to need to take an initiative check. Close combat. The Twister charged, has club and dagger, and attacking first, so the club hit, the dagger misses. And strength 3, needing a 4 to wound, misses to wound, and the black Skaven can strike back. He has 2 attacks, hitting 2 times on a 4. Strength 4 against toughness 3, so needing 3s to wound. 2 wounds and a critical, and the critical just ignores armor saves, so 2 injury rolls and a 3 means stunned. The ogre is not quite ready to charge, getting into position and waiting a turn longer. Therefore, Alexander Clemelton has 1 turn more to shoot, maybe take off some wounds. The mountain guide standing still and trying to shoot his harpoon crossbow on the Skaven. Why not? It's a perfect target. And the demon girl sprinted forward exactly 12 inches apart from the assassin to get an advantage on him. And Azada moving behind her in position as well. Alright, going to shooting phase, shooting at the Night Runner, hitting on a 4, 5 is enough, and a 1 is not enough to wound, so Skaven is lucky today. Then on the other side, Alexander Clemelton 2 shots at the first target, which will be the Twister, but needing a 4 to hit, so 2 misses onto close combat phase. The Demon Girl tried to destroy the lucky charm of the assassin and fails with a 2, so the assassin can strike back, needing a 3 to hit with 3 attacks, so the dagger misses and the 2 weeping blades hit, so 1 is absorbed by the lucky charm, and then strength 4 needing a 4 to wound, 3 is not enough. It's a draw, on to the Skaven. Starting the turn with Barnabas, he needs a leadership check to keep his sword, and a 9 failed. Then everybody moves up and spread out. The 2 giant rats tried to charge the wyvern and failed their fear checks. Start here, the Black Skaven getting close to the wall to keep out of sight of the mountain guide. And the assassin got reinforcements from the Verminkin over the planks, charging in the rear of the demon girl. Well, not looking good for her. And on the other side, one Verminkin climbed up the roof because there was no space on the balcony. And yeah, going straight into shooting phase, starting with magic. Barnabas trying to get his sword back with 6, not enough. Deadeye stood still, tried to shoot a bolt at Azada, missing with the 2. Pissbells trying to destroy the Lucky Charm, needing a 6 to hit with throwing stars, and it's destroyed. Going into close combat, Zick-Zack killing the stunned Twister automatically, so point for him. Then the Verminkin who charged the Demon Girl hits on a 5 and wounds on a 6 actually. Just checking the critical table, and a 5 for blunt weapons means that the Demon Girl is disarmed for the rest of this combat. Then continuing with the Assassin, 3 attacks with a Dagger and all 3 miss. That's bad rolling. Then the Demon Girl strikes back at the Verminkin because it's easier to hit than to wound. With a 6, it's a hit. And wounding on a 4 with strength 4 against toughness 3. And the injury roll is a 6. She kills the Verminkin with her bare hands. Move-in phase for the Carnival. The Black Bearer together with Moonhead both charging the Black Skaven, Zick-Zack. And he needs to take a fear check. With a 4, he passes and standing brave. On the other side of the table, they're going into the destroyed house, awaiting the ogres and keeping a back door open to attack the Wyvern. Then going straight into the shooting phase, starting with Moonhead, who tried to cast Bubos, needing a 7, and he passes on a 10, so Skaven has to pass a toughness check. With a 3, he makes it. Then the 2 brethren, trying to shoot the rat from the roof, have a point-blank range and nothing obstructing. So they will need a 5 because it's long range. The first one hits and wounds as well. And on the injury roll, it's a blank 6. So first shot kills the Skaven. They are on the roll, it seems. And therefore the second one will shoot at the giant rat down in the well, hitting as well, wounding as well with a critical wound. The critical just ignores armor saves, and with another 6 takes out the giant rat. Then the close combat, starting with the Plague Bearer. He's hitting on a 4, 1 hit. The Black Skaven didn't parry, therefore wounding on a 3, and a 5 means that Zick-Zack losing 1 wound. The ogres moving into position, Azada supporting the demon girl alongside the Skavens, and the mountain guide getting a good angle on the Wyvern, whereas Rustam and Halana charging the Carnival, and Alexander Clembleton shuffling around, getting into a better position. In the combat phase, starting with Halana, she attacked the Twister, having a sword and an Iron Fist, which counts as an additional attack for the sword. So 2 attacks, needing 4s, no hits. Therefore the Twister can strike back, club and dagger, needing a 3 to hit. Both hit, so needing a 5 to wound this time, and double 2, no wounds. Then continuing with Rustam against the Plague Bearer. Rustam has 3 attacks, hitting 2 times, and then with strength 4 against toughness 4, so needing a 4+ to wound. It's a single wound, and it's a critical. The critical just ignores armor save, but the Plague Bearer has a 5+ demon save and makes it. Then the Plague Bearer can strike back, 2 attacks, hitting on 4s as well. 1 hit, and Rustam can parry. Fails on a 3. And needing a 5 to wound because of resilient, and fails the wound as well. Then again, the demon girl, the assassin, starts to attack first, hitting with the Weeping Blade and the Dagger. Then against toughness 4, needing a 4 to wound, but it's not enough. Demon girl can strike back, and the 1 is a failure. She's bad today. The Skaven need to pass a leadership because they lost enough, and a 5 means they can continue. And continuing they will, so Startail climbed up the wall, and the Magic Lot preparing to charge the Wyvern, and the Demon Girl blocking the way for the rest of the Skaven. Starting the magic, Barnabas will try to get his sword back, no, and Whisper failing as well to cast Norddoom, needing a 7. Then throwing a throwing star against Azada, hitting on a 6, but needing a 5 to wound, so nothing happens there. And Deadeye try to shoot at the Bow Brethren, and a 2 means he fails as well. So far so bad for the Skaven. Then going into close combat, the assassin wanna try to kill the demon girl today. 3 hits this time, and needing a 4 to wound. Just a single wound with the Weeping Blade, and the demon girl has step aside on a 5+. Nope. Takes a wound. 1 wound left. The Carnival, not much they can do besides charging, so Clownface will charge Rustam and passes the fear check with a 7. Then the Chef will try to charge the Wyvern. He needs a 7 as well, and an 8 has failed. And the plan was for the Gardener to assist him, so the Gardener will stand there where he was. No charges for him. Then going over the rest of the movement for the Carnival, most of them advancing towards the enemy, waiting for their companions to overcome their fear, or already in combat with the enemy. Then going into the shooting phase, starting with the 2 brethren firing their bows into Azada. First one hits on a 5 and needs a 5 to wound, therefore 1 wound down. The second one misses on a 2. Magic, Bubos trying to win cast, and a double 1 is a failure. And the Plague Bearer trying to vomit onto the Skaven, hitting on a 6, and 3 is not enough to wound. Close combat, starting with Clownface with the spear. He attacked, needing not a 2 to hit, so he fails. Then the Plague Bearer needing a 4 to hit, and no hits from him. Therefore Rustam is able to attack back. He's attacking Clownface, the hero, so needing a 3 to hit. 2 hits. And with strength 4, we will need a better result than this. The Twister and Helena have the same initiative, so they have to roll off, and the Twister getting a 6, so he can strike first. For Club and Dagger needing also a better result to hit. And Helena striking back, also misses 2 times, so yeah, both are failing. Well, for the ogres, half of them is already in combat, and Alexander Clementon running up to the wall and maybe climb next turn. Then Gorlock and Azada sandwiching the Skaven, and he fails his fear check. And therefore going straight into close combat. Azada striking first. She will need a 4 to hit, and with a 3 misses. Therefore Gorlock is next. 2 attacks and misses as well. Alright, then Startail will attack back to Azada. She's easier to kill and gets a 6, single hit. And with strength 4, it's a critical hit. And a 3 is 2 wounds. Azada already down to 1, so 2 injury rolls, and 6 and 5 takes her out decisively. Again, the Skaven have to pass a leadership check to stay in the fight, and with a 10, they tuck their tail and retreat. So it's just Carnival versus Ogres. The Skaven are gone, so all eyes on the prize. And it's trying to charge the Wyvern. The Gardener passes the leadership, and the Chef also passes. Then the rest of the circle is moving up. Plaguebearer attacking the Demon Girl, so she has to make a fear check, and with a 6 she passes. And the two brutes will try to take down the Wyvern and get the victory for the Carnival of Chaos. But first there's magic to do, so Moonhead will try to cast Buboes and fails on level 1. And the Bow Brethren trying to chip off some wounds of the Mountain Guide. 1 hits and wounds. 1 wound down. Close combat, Halana against the Twister, initiative roll-off, and Halana wins with the 3. So she can strike first, 2 attacks and 2 misses, as always, and the Twister can strike back. Hits on a 6 with his club, then hitting a 5 to wound. A critical wound, so let's look it up. Ignores armor, so 1 wound down. Then, starting with the Plaguebearer against Rustam, hitting on a 6 and a 4, and needing a 5 to wound because of resilient, and 1 wound goes through. Rustam down to 2 wounds. Then initiative roll-off between Clownface and Rustam. It's a draw, so roll again, and it's another draw. And Clownface wins, so he can strike first. Needing a 4 to hit, he hits. Rustam can parry and fails to parry, so Rustam is infected with Nurgle's Rot, and a 4 is not enough to wound, but maybe it will do the damage later over the campaign. And Rustam will try to turn his attention on the demon, needing a 5 to hit, hitting 1 time, and strength 4, toughness 4, hitting a 4 to wound. It's a 6, so critical wound. 2 wounds, plus 2 to injury roll. Therefore, the Plaguebearer will have to pass 2 demon saves. No, 2 failed. Then 2 injury rolls and a 5 will take him out. Continuing against the Demon Girl, the Plaguebearer has 2 attacks, hitting on a 3, so 2 hits. Strength 4, toughness 4, hitting a 4 to wound, 2 wounds. And the Demon Girl has step aside, so the first one failed and the second one also failed. So 1 injury roll, and a 1 is knocked down, so does she fall off as well? No, pass the initiative check. Fighting against the Wyvern, the Gardener has 2 attacks, hitting on force, so 1 hit and not enough to wound. Then the Chef also attacking, misses both times, alright, okay. Then the tail attack from the Wyvern, so they have to pass an initiative check. The Gardener passes and the Chef passes as well. So just 2 normal attacks from the Wyvern against the Chef, hitting on not double 2s. So it's a draw overall, sadly bad. Alexander Clement climbing up the walls, and Gorlock charging Moonhead, and Moonhead passes his leadership check, so no fear for him. And onto close combat, so the Plaguebearer attack the Demon Girl, he hits 2 times. Strength 4, toughness 4, so 4 ups. 1 wound, Demon Girl has step aside. And she stepped aside. And she can strike back immediately, needing a 5 because the cloud of flies. Then Gorlock attacking Moonhead, the Carnival Master, needing a 4 to hit, hitting 2 times. 1 is absorbed by the Lucky Charm, and 1 wound as well. So rolling on injury table, he's stunned. Maybe he will fall off the wall as well. With an initiative roll of 6, he falls down, and it will be 2 hits on strength 4. Which 1 is enough to wound him as well. So let's make a little space and roll on the injury table again. Not enough to kill him. Clownface against Rustam. They have to roll off the initiative, and Rustam won, so he can attack first. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, strength 4 against toughness 3, so 3s to wound, 2 wounds, no armor saves, and 2 injury rolls. 4 and 2 means Clownface is stunned. Halana against the Twister, so initiative roll off. Halana did win. She can strike first, 2 attacks. And 2 hits this time. Strength 4, toughness 3, 2 wounds, no armor save. So 2 injury rolls and a 6, kill. With the Plague Bearer gone, the Carnival also has to pass a leadership check, and with 7 they can stay. Lucas wants to try to attack Gorlock, passes the leadership as well. Then the Brethren did move up, because everybody else was already in combat, and the 2 Brethren will try to shoot Alexander Clementon. Long range and moving, so 1 hits with a 6, and wounds on a 6. It's a critical wound, so just ignoring armor saves. And on an injury roll, he is stunned. And does he fall back off of the wall? No, passes his initiative check. But he has also a helmet, which didn't prevent the stunning. Combat phase, Rustam will try to kill Clownface, and he kills him. Then, against the Wyvern, initiative checks against the tail. So, the chef failed and takes a strength 4 hit, which doesn't wound. Then the Wyvern has initiative 4, so striking first against the chef, hitting 2 times. Strength 4, toughness 4, 1 wound. No armor save for the chef, and he is knocked down, so he cannot strike back. The Gardener hitting back and hitting 2 times. So strength 6, toughness 5, 2 wounds. So the Wyvern has a 6 plus armor save, which failing both, so 2 wounds down. So actually, rules-wise, the Wyvern has his own turn within the turn cycle, and now that it is awake, so we will rectify this and make another round of combat. Therefore, initiative checks for the Gardener. He fails, and the Chef fails as well. So both take a strength 4 hit. The Gardener isn't wounded, and the Chef takes a critical hit. And a 1 just ignores armor saves, so he will have to step aside, and step aside he does on a 5. Then the Wyvern can strike first against the Chef, hitting 1 time on a 5, and with strength 4, 1 is not enough to wound. Then, starting with the Gardener, because the Chef just stood up, and he hits 1 time on a 6, and with strength 6 he needs a 3, gets a critical hit. Let's see what it does. Just ignoring armor saves, so it goes through, chipping off the last wound, and kills it on a 5. Looking good for the Carnival. And you actually get 1 experience point for every wound you take off the Wyvern, so the Gardener just got 3 additional experience points. But actually finishing the turn, so Howard Lucas attacking Gorlock, didn't wound, and Gorlock can attack back. He wounds 2 times. And with strength 4 against toughness 4, 1 and a 2 is not enough to wound. Then the last combat, the Plague Bearer against the Demon Girl, attacking first, hitting on a 5 and a 6, and then needing to force the wound. Again, 1 and 2 is not enough, and the Demon Girl striking back, failing on a 1. And yeah, there it is. So if you kill the Wyvern and are the only one left in its lair, you win the game. So in the end, the Carnival did win, but they lost the Twister, who was more experienced, though everybody else survived. And being the winner of this scenario, the Monster Hunt, they will get to loot the lair and find some goodies. So these are the possibilities to find. It's like the treasure hunt in the normal Mordheim rulebook, so you go through all of these possibilities, rolling for each one separately, and then checking if you get it or not. And these are the results for the Carnival. And winning the scenario in the rich quarter, so they also always found the maximum amount of gold and equipment. Therefore they get 30 gold, found a magical artifact, which were the boots and robe of Peter, then a suit of heavy armor, a shield, a helmet, 3 swords and 3 gems worth 10 gold crowns each. And looking over the experience gained, some of them leveled up. The chef got an extra leadership, so he won't be as frightened anymore as in this game. The gardener racking up 6 experience points, 3 experience points for each wound he took off the wyvern, and plus 2 experience points for actually killing the wyvern, and a single one for surviving the battle. So he leveled up 2 times and got 2 extra skills, so he's now resilient and has strike to injure. And between the bow brethren, one leveled up and got an additional ballistic skill, and the second one actually showed some talent. Therefore the Carnival now has 6 heroes. And the new one being Sunshine, he immediately learned a skill and has Step Aside. During the exploration phase they found 5 additional weird stone and 3 from the Witch Quarter, which got him a total of 8 weird stone, of which they sold 7 for 110 gold crowns. But not all went well. They rolled a double 1 for the experience to hire a new henchman, so they just hired a second brethren with bow, but paid for 3 additional nurglings and all the equipment that is highlighted in red. Clownface took a deep wound, so he will miss the next 2 matches. And aside from a lucky charm for Sunshine, they sent 4 additional heroes to find a Gromrel armor. And actually the last one, Moonhead himself, found it, so he has now a Gromrel armor and the helmet from the Wyvern layer. So this is the Warband, how it looks so far, with a rating of 154, but nonetheless looking good as far as now. As for the Skaven, they snuck in, got their asses whooped and pulled out. They lost one of the spear rats, and Zigzag got a deep wound and misses the next 3 matches actually, but everyone else survived, so no severe casualties. They found 4 weirdstone, a corpse with a sword and 3 gold, sold all their 5 weirdstone in total for 80 gold crowns, and hired a Clan Scryer Red Ogre, which costs 100 gold and has an upkeep of 1 weirdstone each round. Then some experience points were gathered. Zigzag learned the art of silent death. Startail getting 1 further additional attack, so he has 3 attacks now with fighting claws 4 in total, which is very nice. The Ashen Sorcerer learned sorcery, so he gets a +1 of his casting attempts. And Deadeye learned another skill, Quick Shot, so looking good for him. Therefore, so far as it stands, the albinos have a rating of 195. But it seems that the ogres are the true losers of this match. Rustam got infected with Nurgle's Rot. Azada suffered from amnesia and lost all her experience points. And losing the match means they get no additional bonuses to compensate for that. They just found 4 weirdstone and 4 additional gold in the exploration phase and sold 3 weirdstone for 65 gold. But Rustam and Gorlock both level up. Rustam is now a weirdstone hunter, so they can reroll on the exploration phase, and Gorlock Black Pounder now has strike to injure. Also bought a second sword for Gorlock and kept the rest of the gold for maybe hiring a big ogre in the next turn. So that was the match. Here's the map. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I see you in the next video. Have a good one.